Most people didn't discover Sleeping Dogs when it came out. They found it later, on sale from a friend who said, "Trust me, this one's different." And somehow, it was. Sleeping Dogs launched in 2012, did almost everything right, and still never got a sequel. Which is strange because once you play it, you don't really forget it. So why did a game this good disappear? And why are people still asking for Sleeping Dogs 2 more than a decade later? Most open world crime games lean on guns. Sleeping Dogs didn't. It built its identity around hand-to-hand combat, and it was absolutely the right choice. Fights are fast, brutal, and personal. Counters feel heavy. Environmental takedowns feel excessive. If there was an object nearby, the game wants you to use it. Fish tank, dumpster, a fan on the wall. Every fight feels like it got out of hand very quickly. And Wei Shen would definitely need medical coverage if it were real life. Wei Shen is what keeps this game memorable. He's an undercover cop trying to balance his job with life inside the triads. And the game actually lets that tension breathe. You start off doing bad things for good reasons, then questionable things for practical reasons, and eventually, you kind of just stop checking. The game doesn't lecture you about it, it just lets it sit there. It's subtle, grounded, and way more effective than trying to be dramatic about it. The story isn't groundbreaking, but it's focused, human, and confident. And honestly, that puts it ahead of the games in this genre. Now, it's not perfect. Mission variety is limited. A lot of missions boil down to drive here, fight someone there, chase someone over there. It works, it's fun, but by midpoint, you usually know how things are going to end. Generally with something broken. The open world is another mixed bag. It looks incredible, but there isn't much depth outside the main story. Side activities exist, races, favors, fight clubs, but most of them don't meaningfully expand the world or the narrative. It's a great city that you mostly pass through on the way to the next mission. And yes, there is some jank in the game. Animations can be stiff, AI occasionally forgets what it's doing, the camera sometimes makes decisions. Nothing game breaking, just very early 2010s open world game problems. For a long time, Sleeping Dogs was one of those games that was supposed to become a movie. It was announced, talked about, then quietly disappeared, which honestly felt very on brand. But more recently, something actually changed. Simu Liu has publicly said that he completed a drafted script for a Sleeping Dogs movie, and that he plans to play Wei Shen himself. Now, does that mean the movie is officially happening? No, but it does mean Sleeping Dogs has more momentum going into this draft. And casting wise, Simu Liu makes a lot of sense. He has the physical presence, the dramatic range, and importantly the personal interest in making it happen, which already puts this project further along than most video game movies ever got. Now, does this game deserve a sequel? Yes, but not a lazy one. A proper sequel would need real choices with real consequences, deeper undercover mechanics, a world that reacts to who Wei Shen is becoming. The foundation is already there. Sleeping Dogs didn't fail because it was bad, it failed because it launched at the wrong time, under the wrong expectations, and now it feels more relevant than ever. But the final thoughts, Sleeping Dogs never got a sequel, but more than 10 years later, people still recommend it, still talk about it, and still wish it had another shot. And that doesn't happen by accident. A flawed, stylish, confident game that deserves better, and still does.